Hello there. Welcome back to Pathologic. I needed to go speak to Anna Angel. That was a thing for sure. Was that it? Was that all we had left to do? Let's have a quick look at the quest log real quick. Oh yeah, return to Katerina as well. Katerina and Anna are the people of interest right now, I believe. Yeah, I'm surprised we never got around to speaking to Concane today. I guess we're not able to get in to see him, but we've had him sort of set up as a player on the field here in day 3. And that field might extend to actually include him at some point later. Like he's on the field, but only on a technicality. He's like a streaker, just sort of run onto the pitch, you know? Neither team are claiming him right now. Ugh. Right, so what do we right now? I need to get my reputation back up. That's a certainty for sure. But I can't really do that till tonight. So in the meantime, I guess I just sort of fuck about. I guess I could go cure, find a sick person in the Plague District and cure them to get my reputation up, but I don't know if that's the optimal way of dealing with reputation, especially since I don't really need the shops right now, so I might be better off just waiting until the morning for that and getting my reputation up overnight, the old-fashioned way. Yeah, I think that feels right. I think that feels accurate. And here is the Willows, residence of one Anna Angel. Hello.
It will all work out when the regular train comes.
Ah, you're so pale. Would you like to use my rouge? I talked to the old Gimskis, Anna. Ah, pray tell, what are they up to? They're not the ones plotting against you, it's the Canes. Anyway, they've both been distracted now, got themselves a bogeyman that's scarier than you. Yeah, so that's how it is. Now I understand. Now I see the whole picture. That is the point. Now I realise. Woe is me, the ever-unlucky artiste. I have played the part of a villainess all too well, and now no one is going to believe that I am what I really am. Thank you, my dear. Now, look which direction to expect danger from. What? Oh, now I know it. Why did I get look from? Now I know which direction to expect danger from. Do you agree to answer my questions candidly and without prejudice? I do. And why didn't you... Let's begin then. Anna, did you cause this plague? I'm afraid I did. Afraid I'm guilty. For we will never be forgiven. We will be exterminated, all of us, with no clemency. No one will be saved. How did you do it? It's all because I'm cursed. Because I finally become one of them. One of the caravan. Weren't you with the caravan before? It's not true. I've never kidnapped a child. I was myself kidnapped at a very young age. Well, not literally kidnapped. My ending up there was more of a mishap. A mishap? Why? Because I've been born ugly and mute. No one will play with me and I couldn't even say mommy. All of the... It always sounds weird hearing me say that in a British accent, doesn't it? Like that, it's not a word that I meant to say. All the while dreaming of becoming a real singer. I had thought they'd teach me to sing at the caravan and make me beautiful. I mean, she's a bit funny looking because of the graphics, but she's no uglier than anyone else in this town. How would that be possible if you were mute? They had sorcery in their blood. They made stage artistes out of children like myself. Nothing came out of my singing in the end, but I did become a true caravan girl. A malicious, obsessed troll, ruining children's lives and souls. It so happened that I was already here at the time. It's got to be one of the earliest instances of the word troll, surely. When did this game come out? Was that 2004 or something, right? Yeah, I suppose there were internet trolls in 2004. I suppose that was a thing. I know it wasn't necessarily meant in that context, but you know what I mean. It applies, it works. So you were a failure as a singer, weren't you? And how did you become so beautiful? They fed me egg yolks and oysters, made me drink lemon juice and put special toad on my chest so that I'd absorb its miasma. It didn't work. Then they decided to make me a figurine. But then there was a raid and they got rounded up near Orv. I escaped with a snake charmer named Var. He carried me out. What's a figurine? A freak. They left the small ones at the door of a house that a child had been kidnapped from, like changelings, you should know. And the grown-up ones were made to perform at the Guignol, a night show for depraved adults. Oh, shit. Less said about that, the better. So what was your crime? I had betrayed my parents. I had taken someone else's voice, someone else's hair. Then, when I was already here, I acted the same way the caravan leaders would. I was hungry, so I lifted all of those things from Willow, the girl, who then died. It was she that used to be the golden-haired singer. That's when the plague broke out. How was that even possible? As a punishment for my greed, Willow Mellow had predicted that it would all turn out this way if the caravan got here. She had even been stockpiling medicine. The stash is actually all hers. All this time I've been waiting for my punishment. I've twisted my nature so badly. I should have remained a cripple. And who was this Willow? She was nice, a real baby doll. But I did to her the same thing the caravan had been doing to children. Ground her into flour, unwove her into threads. I don't even know how I did it. Flour and threads. You're mad, aren't you? I suppose I can't expect to ever be forgiven, can I? Too big an honour for you, having an entire town perish because of your greed. No, it wasn't your doing. Interesting. Again, found out a lot about Anna Angel from that conversation, a lot more than we ever knew about her before. So, I mean, technically, yes, she was part of the caravan, but she was actually one of the ugly children who was swapped with the beautiful child from the House of the Willows. And somehow, like, absorbed the looks of the child that was stolen, I guess? Some weird pathologic shit going on there, for sure. But yeah, she thinks that the plague is a punishment for what she did, but obviously we all know better. We all know that's not the case. I'll return to Monsieur Sabarov shortly, but we also have to speak to Katerina, so while we're here.
Matchmakers are coming, trying to woo me.
Oh, the pressure. If you only knew how hard it was for me. I've been to see Ava, Mother. And? She's affectionate, kind and defenceless. Have you managed to convince her? No, I didn't. She's in love, and I don't think her kind of impudence is what could bring the wrath down upon the town. Could have been so easy. What is the matter with you, my daughter? Had you at least told me that she threw you out, that you weren't able to convince her, that a frantic bachelor stormed into the house and scared you off, flimsy little thing that you are, I would not have been angry, but you say that you gave up on her of your own volition. Why would I lie? It all happened just like I told you. That dropped my reputation? Fuck. That's not good. Should have lied. But I was telling the truth. I was telling the truth to my dear mother. Like, that's what good little girls do, right?
That's okay, I'll make it. I'm made of wood.
You are made of wood, you're right. You're entirely your own mistress, but remember that time will run out soon. I've talked to Anna. Some neighbour you have. Not you, we. Or do you still not think of the rod as your home? Tell me, what is your verdict on Anna? She's innocent. Are you sure, Clara? I'm sure. Who is guilty then? I don't know, and there are no more bad people left in town. Don't you want to know who caused the disease? Be watchful, Clara. Careful you don't let a criminal walk free. The entire town will be slowly consumed while your mercy is keeping the one villain alive. Let truth prevail. Oh, and that dropped my reputation as well. Well, this was a fun day, wasn't it? This was a fun fucking day. Do 2 quests and lose all my fucking reputation for it. Shouldn't have handed them in. Not like I got a reward. I literally got... Oh, fuck. Well, this is problematic. Now I'm really gonna have issues. Now I'm really gonna struggle. Thanks, parents. How great you are. I guess I should have just lied to them both, but I don't know. Telling them that Ava and Anna are in charge of the plague. I don't think that's very fair. I don't think they deserve that. Neither of them seem to be particularly bad people. So what do I do now? I was going to go into the infected district and see if I could cure some people to get my reputation back up, but I can't because there's guards all around it who want me dead now, so all I can really do is just sort of hang out, I guess. It's only 6 o'clock. It'll be a few hours before the bad men start arriving. There's a little play park over here that I clocked it when I came out of Yulia's last time, but like I don't know why this is such a novelty to me, but I just hadn't realised it was here. I guess I just don't really come all the way up to this far north reaching part of town very often. I just wasn't aware it existed. So that's a thing. That's something, isn't it? There's also a little walkway down here. Not really much to be gained from that either, but you know, it's a thing to acknowledge. I'll tell you what I acknowledged today. And I was vaguely aware of this from before, but I had kind of completely forgotten about it. Lords of the Fallen. I don't think it was quite a launch title, but it was a very early PS4 game that just tried to knock off Dark Souls, basically. And it was okay if you weren't looking for Dark Souls. If you were looking for Dark Souls, it was utter dog shit. Either way, it was wholly unremarkable. You know, just sort of fairly basic hack and slash sort of non-entity of a game. They've like made another one. They've tried to like relaunch the franchise. It's just another one just called Lords of the Fallen. Like it's not Lords of the Fallen 2. They've rebooted it from scratch. And I don't know why. I don't know what would make people think that was a good idea necessarily. Like, if you want to make another game in that style, why try and cash in on the name of a game that no one really liked to begin with? Like, it's not brand recognition. Most people have forgotten Lords of the Fallen existed, and those that do remember it existed, like, I don't have especially fond memories of it. Like, best case scenario, they thought, yeah, that was okay, and moved on with their lives, you know? There's no ranting, raving Lords of the Fallen fans out there. It's not like Dragon's Dogma or something, which getting a new Dragon's Dogma game obviously has put a lot of hype in the air because it was like a cult classic, but Lords of the Fallen wasn't that. It wasn't that at all, and I really don't know why that they didn't just like make a new IP if they wanted to do something like that. I can only assume like the writers, the people who created the narrative of Lords of the Fallen were just really proud of what they did, and it was them who sort of started the impetus for making another entry in the series so they could continue their great literary work. Like, that's the only possible explanation I can think of, because like I really can't imagine like anyone else who worked on that project was like that attached to it. Like, it was such a nothing burger, you know what I mean? This seems like I'm sounding really harsh here. As I say, I played through the game, it was fine for what it was, but like I just really don't understand the attempt to bring it back when it was such a momentous flop in the first place. Such a weird decision to me, but I don't know. I mean, it's slightly more exciting news for me, at least. Wargroove got a sequel, which came out quite recently. I'm 100% going to be picking that up. I loved Wargroove. It's just Advance Wars, but I love Advance Wars, and I like fantasy medieval setting far more than I like the modern day setting of original Advance Wars, so yeah, more of that please, more of that. Looking forward to playing that. Might pick that up after this video actually. Sit down and play some Wargroove 2. I don't think it would make exactly thrilling content, although having said that, wandering around town right now looting bins and trying not to get beaten to death by random patrolling watchmen isn't exactly the most thrilling content either, but you know, we're committed to the Pathologic lifestyle now. I think Wargroove's definitely something I'm just going to play on my own time, but yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to that a lot. There's actually quite a lot going on at the moment in the world of video games for those who are particularly into such things. More in the indie sphere. I mean, there's been a lot of big AAA titles this year, which haven't interested me so much, but there's been some cool indie stuff coming out. I'm not going to talk at length too much about indie games I've enjoyed this year right now, because I do a year-end favorite video game list for that exact reason. But suffice to say that there's quite some stuff that's going to go on that list, and it'll be pretty cool, I think. Pretty cool. Although if you wanna tip the scales and instead talk about something that is not good, an immensely bad video game, I think I may have discovered the worst video game ever made. In fact, I might have finally discovered it. I don't know if you're aware of Lemmings. Classic game on basically all of the consoles in like the late 80s, maybe. It might have been very early 90s, I don't know. You know, a simple sort of puzzle game thing. You need to herd your little lemmings to safety by giving them roles to like build bridges or dig tunnels or whatever to guide their friends and followers to safety. It's a fun little game, fun little mechanic, and it always surprised me that there weren't more games in that series. It feels like something like Worms or Bomberman, that sort of game that you would expect to have just had like thousands of iterations at this point, but I've not seen a great deal many Lemmings games out there. However, I did recently pick up Lemmings 3D for the Sega Saturn. I think it also may have released on PC and possibly PS1 as well, but I'm a Sega Saturn nerd. I can't help it. I love my Sega Saturn. So I was like, okay, I'll give Lemmings 3D a go. I like Lemmings a lot. Let's see what the 3D version's like. Oh my god, it's atrocious. And probably explains why there haven't been many Lemmings games since. Like, just for context, right? The Sega Saturn has a D-pad, 6 face buttons, quite a few buttons, 6 face buttons, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. It's got a start, and then it's got 2 shoulder buttons, right? That's quite a few buttons, so you think you'd be able to map the controls for a simple puzzle game onto that. Then you realise how many controls this needs to operate properly in 3 dimensions. Just think about it for a second. First in a Lemmings game, you have a cursor. So okay, we'll map the D-pad to moving the cursor up, down, left, right, fair enough. But you also need complete free control of your camera in this 3D environment. It's not just like 2.5D, where it's, you know, everything's a 2D environment, but with 3D models. It's fully 3D. Things move in different, you know, all 3 axes, 6 axes, however you want to pronounce that. Which means, for full camera control, you need to be able to move your camera up, down, left, right, forward, backwards, and rotate it left, right, up and down. You can have forwards and backwards as well, I suppose, but that's obviously something that's less important. But now bear in mind, once again, the D-pad's accounted for. We have 6 face buttons and 2 shoulder buttons, and at least 10 inputs that we need to map to those. And that's before we have like a button to select a thing, a button to toggle between the different roles you're going to give your lemmings. Suddenly things aren't adding up, are they? I tried playing this game, man. I tried so hard. And like, the worst part is, like, even once you sort of, because you can remap your controls, and I did try and get some sort of setup that allowed me to navigate the world of that game to some degree. But even once you've got a basic sort of, I can just about get around this, I ended up not mapping forward and backwards. So I had to like rotate 90 degrees and then move sideways if I wanted to move forwards. But even once I had that set up, the levels were just badly designed. Because these lemmings, they weren't meant to move in 3 dimensions. It's very hard to corral them in 3 dimensions. It was just a fucking nightmare. So yeah, quite possibly, like, I don't know, maybe some of the level design later on was really good. There may have been some really cool ideas in that game, for all I know. But, holy shit, man, the controls were so impressively bad that it was literally unplayable. Literally quite possibly the worst game I've ever played. And I've played a lot of bad games. I've played a lot of bad games. I've played games that don't even load. I've pressed launch on certain games in my Steam library and they just don't do anything. And that is better than the experience I had with Lemmings 3D. I suppose since it was also a PC game, like, obviously the control mappings would make a lot more sense on there, or at least they could be remapped to make a lot more sense on there. So maybe on a PC, that game was acceptable. On a console, though? Like, I've seen some bad console ports, don't get me wrong. Like, StarCraft on N64, Command & Conquer on Sega Sat, and the RTSs, in particular, did not ever belong on a console, but those were far more playable than this. Far more playable. And that's my Lemmings 3D rant. I hope you enjoyed it. It seems to have passed enough time that night is starting to fall, so we can actually get some shit done, which is pretty cool. It's pretty exciting. Notice my hunger's been creeping up all day as well. I should probably do something about that. I can no longer trade with the guards to improve that, so we're going to have to get my reputation up enough to trade with them again, or else I'm going to be in a real little pickle, because it doesn't seem like you make a lot of money in the Changelings campaign, so buying stuff is kind of off the table. At least buying things in bulk, you know. Might be able to scrape up enough for a single piece of meat occasionally, but like that's not going to get me very far. I really should have done something better or more constructive with this time, rather than just walking around talking about video games that aren't this one, but it's only Pathologic, how hard can it be? A little bit of wasted time never hurt anyone. Just got to air some grievances, it was quite nice actually. Now where are all the knife men? Where are they? They gotta be out here somewhere. Oh, can't go that way. Come on, I need a reputation boost. I desperately need a reputation boost. I'm actually surprised regular townsfolk aren't attacking me. I think that maybe only happens when your reputation is literally empty. Or possibly it doesn't happen at all for Clara, maybe that's just a Harrowspecks thing. Really disappointed at the lack of knife men right now. It's definitely late enough for them to be about. I'm sure of it. The lights are on in houses and stuff, like it is officially night time. So where are they? Hello? Poor innocent girl walking the streets alone over here. Would be a shame if someone came and stabbed me. Would be a shame. A real shame if someone came out here with a knife and did something most heinous. Wouldn't it though? I've got a lot of money and drugs on me. Or whatever else it is knife men like. I think I traded all my knives away. I don't think I have any knives you can steal off me. I know you like knives. What a haul. Anyone? Hello? Well, this is unfortunate. How am I meant to recover my reputation if there's no one to murder? Everyone knows vigilantism is the one true way of... Honestly, I was gonna make a joke there, but that is probably true. Like, you hear these stories about people who, like, go out and beat nonces to death and stuff, and then they go to prison, but they're, like, hailed as heroes. Like, vigilantism is actually considered to be, like, a good thing in so many people's eyes. I don't know how I feel on the subject. It's probably too big a subject for a simple man such as myself to broach, honestly. Because, like, honestly, you know, the police aren't always the best upholders of the law and integrity and honor, you know. So maybe sometimes communities should take matters into their own hands, but like, it's a sensitive subject for sure. A complicated subject, and I am but a simple human. Nowhere near complicated enough for such a subject. Where the fuck are all the stabbings? What is going on out here? Why is it such a peaceful evening? This is not helpful. This is not helpful at all. I guess I'm doing a real good job of stockpiling medical supplies, but I don't see how they're going to be useful to me. My reputation is as fucked as this forever. Oh. Nope, thought that was one for a second. Just a regular dude doing regular dude things. What time is it? Like, maybe 10 o'clock. Maybe 10 o'clock is the spawning point. Maybe it's still a bit early. Things like this, exact timing on things, is still not something I'm completely clear on. I know 7 AM is the day reset now. I'm aware of that. And obviously midnight is the "you've completed a day, here's how many people died" moment. But as to like more specific events, like, you know, when knife men come out, what their inverse curfew date is, you know. Danke. What's down here? I'm going exploring, fuck this. I really just haven't been in this part of town very much. There's never really been much reason to. Like, there's maybe 2 quests that have had me go into that little area, and then you speak to Yulia like twice ever, and the rest of everything north of the jails, the town hall, whatever it is, that place, is just kind of pointless, generally. So I'm just going to hang out here, just on principle. Make up to the area. I'm sorry I neglected you, specific part of Pathologic's town. Will you ever forgive me? Anyone down here? Anyone walking the lonely road? I've done it again. What is it about this game that brings that song to the forefront of my brain every single time? Jesus Christ, this is the most boring evening that has ever happened. Come on. Give me some spice. I want to slap someone. I want to slap them real good. Oh, not you. Don't be dramatic. Just because I slapped the air in your vicinity, there's no reason to start doing your very silly run. Your little waddle run that you've got going on. How many times have I tried to loot those bins in this episode, specifically? The answer is quite a few. I cannot believe this. Not a single knife man in like what? How long has it been? 5-10 minutes that I've been... Just gotta complain loud enough. Pays off every time. Every time. Please don't kill me. What the fuck? Oh, because my reputation's so low. He thinks I'm one of him. Spoilers, I'm not. Ah, fuck. We've got to play this right, alright? We're going to play this right. Which means no backstabs, because that always throws me off course. We walk up to him and we slap him in the fucking face. That's how we play this. 100%. I think this has happened before, that these guys have been on side, but I had completely forgotten it was a thing. Hi, pal. I try and get used to the range on these fists. As I say, it's a lot longer than you expect it to be. Not quite that long, though. There we go. Wow, that barely impacted my reputation at all. Brilliant. I feel no better. That's not one. Okay. I'm heading to the little park courtyardy place just up here because I know there's quite a cluster of NPC spawns around there, so you quite often get a couple of knife men in that vicinity. That's not a knife man, that's a drunkard. They do look quite similar under the wrong lighting, but it's all in the body language, you know. I think giving a drunkard water so that he doesn't die should improve my reputation, personally. I think that's a good deed if I ever saw one. Although again, with this game being as it is, most people will probably like think that's a bad thing, keeping them on the streets or whatever. Yeah. Found one. Found a little knifey boy. Let us scrap. Oh, I can't read that now. I've got things to do. Whoa, where you going? Dude. I keep doing the backstab just in the hopes that it does do more damage than a regular punch, but I'm really not convinced it does. Uh-oh. Yeah, perfectly timed battle music, you got it. That was when the battle started, 100%. Well done, game. Okay, what did that letter say then? That's a lot of reading, that is. Alright, the annotation for patrolmen, couriers, executors and sanitary personnel. In order to prevent panic, the annotation is classified and its content should be under no circumstances disclosed to the civilian population. The disease is incurable. There's no vaccine. I've got one. Neither here nor in the capital. However, there are a few positive facts. The probability of contracting the disease is significantly lower for someone who has been immune, who has taken immune system stimulants. As of now, we believe that A pills and B pills, yellow-coloured and blue-coloured pills, respectively, provide the best protective effect. Excessive doses of the medicaments can be detrimental to one's health. Additional protection is afforded by synthetic clothing. Woolen garments are strictly off limits. Parasites. The clothing should be changed as often as possible. Important. The disease develops sporadically. At its initial stage, it does not progress in any significant way, especially if antibiotics are taken. However, if contact with the infection reoccurs, the development of the disease becomes extremely rapid. The disease is not transmitted by means of droplet infection. As of now, we have yet to find out how it's contracted. Preliminary tests suggest that the disease is not contagious at early stages, therefore there is no need, there we go, I got it, very good, to isolate the sick person immediately after the appearance of the symptoms. Is no needed. In consideration of your particular line of work, we believe that you will not be able to avoid infection. If you have contracted the disease, do not give in to despair. It would have happened sooner or later anyway. Try your best to conserve the infection at this initial stage. Take antibiotic medicine. Consider using the schmauders. They are extremely dangerous, but they help curb the infection. I'm not using them under any circumstances. Get fucked. And then an address to all townspeople. Attention all citizens, following the outbreak of the lethal disease commonly known as sand plague, sand pest and sand dirt, the town authorities hereby declare state of emergency. The disease is extremely contagious. There is still ongoing research as to how the disease has been transmitted, but cases of contact and droplet infection have been confirmed. There are currently no vaccine solutions in the town, and none are to be expected before the regular train arrives. Please be extra careful. The townspeople are forbidden to leave their homes unless under special instruction. Remember, the possibility of infection is much lower for those who stay indoors. The citizens are advised to sterilize their household wares, boil their clothing, and exterminate as many vermin as possible. Do not panic. Medics, couriers, and executors will take care of mail delivery as well as the distribution is not a word, of drinking water, provisions, and medicine. Requests should be written down and slid under the door for couriers to collect. The address was composed on the instructions of Bachelor Dankovsky and ratified by the State of Emergency Town Governor Alexander Sabarov. It is compulsory to follow every advice herein. Cool. I'm going to ignore all of that because I have slapping to do. There are men who need slapping around these parts. Not these parts particularly, actually. Maybe these parts? Can you find knife men around here? You probably can. I don't know why, for some reason I thought you couldn't. I was thinking they only walk like the streets of the town itself, but I don't see why I wouldn't be able to find them here. Not good enough. Also not good enough. Why are they such a rarity? Look at my reputation. This is after killing 2 men. My reputation is still like this. How many men must I kill? How many lives must I end in order to be in the good graces of these townsfolk? These bloodthirsty monsters that I call the citizens of town. Of the town. Oh, fucking why? Every time I see an NPC who doesn't have a knife and isn't out to kill me, I'm just disappointed. Why am I giving you water for free? You get nothing, mate. I walk these empty streets on the boulevard of broken dreams. Hello? Ooh, 2. Quite the haul. These are some painfully empty streets, though. There may not be a boulevard of broken dreams. I don't know exactly what one of those looks like, but these streets are most definitely empty. Inarguably empty. Stop being an argument against being empty. You're ruining my point. Leave. Found one. To get a little bit closer. To be fair, I still don't think I'm am reputable enough for him to attack me, but just in case. He's attacking someone, though. Not like he was just attacking that building. Get up and fight me. Dude, there we go. Really didn't think that would take 4 hits after I'd already hit him twice in the back, but... what do I know, I guess. Like, at best, I'll get my reputation up to like half tonight. At best. And then that'll just be gone again throughout the day. It was those quests, dude. Like, what was that? The reward for the 2 quests I spent all day doing was to take a bunch of my reputation away. I know it's pathologic and it's punishing, and not everything you do should expect a reward, because that's just how the game rolls, but like, that was specifically harsh. That was like targeted harshness. I don't know if that's like the game trying to encourage me to lie to people more. Like I would have got.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed.
Okay, fine.
A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theatre.
Yeah, I don't know if the game is like saying that, you know, because I'm Clara and she's a tricksy little hobbit, in order to play that character better, what I should be doing is lying to everyone and telling them what they want to hear, because that is going to give me a better outcome, and that telling the truth is detrimental to my existence. I don't know if that's what I was meant to have taken away from day 3 of Pathologic, the Changeling, but it's not a good takeaway. It's not a takeaway I like, but yeah, maybe I should just start lying outright to everyone. Maybe that's exactly what I should be doing. Are you coming for me? I don't think you are you? Fuck. She's gonna run, which is gonna make this guy a lot harder to hit. But also might mean he's distracted until he's dead, which would be nice. Yay, I did it! I saved you! Should get extra reputation for that, I think. If I save a life, that's even better than just doing a murder in general. Right? Wrong. Wrong. Saving a life ain't worth shit, especially when it's a woman. Women are all shabnacks. They're not to be trusted. Right, okay, what's going on in the theatre today?
So,
It stays away from dead bodies, disappearing from corpses without a trace. It's been established that you can outweight it if you're careful and discreet. The glass will keep the best, as it's supposed to.
what does it mean?
It means we have a fighting chance. The infectious agent only sticks to living matter and is repelled by dead surfaces. Those who remain indoors are more likely to survive. Scurrying and making a fuss means death. All in all, we can fight.
You self-serving jerk. You've got your own agenda, haven't you? You're always up for a fight. You just need an adversary. What about the people?
Hush, don't you get in his way. He seems to have a plan.
It's all wrong. It's no good at all.
Who the fuck's that talking? Why did Satan just chip into the conversation there? Ooh, spooky. Strange to see Mark Immortel in one of them. It's usually just the performers and then the three main characters, right? I think. I don't know if that was meant to be implying that the Bachelor is being controlled by the powers that be. That his will is actually coming from on high. The fact that he had someone whispering in his ear or whatever there. I don't know if that's what we're meant to take from that. Like, obviously there's always some meaning to the symbolism we're shown in those theatre performances, but it always goes over my head, man. I try my best. I try my best to wrap my smooth little brain around it, but it just doesn't work out that way. I'm not a smart enough man for this game, I'm really not, but I'm trying. I am really trying. Slowly but surely piecing stuff together on some level. Some level of thing is happening up there, you know. Basic chemical reactions are happening in my brain. Neurons are firing a little bit. You should have hit me there. I deserve to be hit there. Why are you not dead, man? How many times have I hit you? Must have not had any headshots. Okay. I thought I'd been attacked from behind then. I was just coughing. Just having a little splutter. Anyway, I think that's probably about wrapping up time. I think that area's infected now. That wasn't infected before. Yeah, I think this is probably a good stopping point. More of this soon. And by more of this, I do literally mean this. Walking around slapping men with knives for the rest of the evening. I'm sure it'll be fun. I'll see you for that. Bye.